The Weedsman Podcast. ChristopherMedia.net.
Tired of long waits and rushed care at the ER and urgent care clinic? Next time, stay home and let Dispatch Health bring the power of the hospital to you.
I call Dispatch Health. A care team of medical professionals actually come to your house.
They're the same caliber of people that you would see if you were at a hospital or an urgent care.
Dispatch Health can treat most non-life-threatening emergencies.
They can do the x-rays, they can do stitches,
urinary tract infections, blood test, urinalysis, ultrasound.
It's almost everything that they can do at the ER.
You never feel rushed. They're there for you and only you.
I felt like their only patient.
And it costs no more than a trip to urgent care because Dispatch Health is covered by most insurance, including Medicare. See if we serve your home at dispatchhealth.com.
Dispatch Health really went above and beyond.
It's wonderful to have care come to your home.
House calls are back, and they're better than ever. Learn more at dispatchhealth.com.
Lucky Land Slots, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Mary redeemed a $50,000 cash prize playing Chumba Casino online.
I was only playing for fun, so winning was a dream come true.
Chumba Casino is America's favorite free online social casino. You, too, could have the chance to win life-changing cash prizes. Absolutely anybody could be like Mary. Be like Mary. Log on to ChumbaCasino.com and play for free now. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details. The voice in the preceding commercial was not the actual voice of the winner.
From Asthma Studios near Detroit, Michigan, it's the Weedsman Podcast. And now, you're smoking filter. You're the Weedsman.
We're back. I'm Chris.
I'm Aaron.
We brought a new state with us. Missouri.
And two of them.
Oh, two?
Right?
What was the other one?
Well,
Am I that high? Been that high for 2 weeks?
My notes are discombobulated. Everything. I'm using this new system for tracking stories that I want to share and news bits, and it's not really working out. It's not syncing. I'm getting all my M states confused. There's too many states that start with M, isn't there? Maryland and Missouri.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Maryland. It was another East Coaster. Slowly creeping down the East Coast. Your next Carolinas, probably not.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't exactly a green wave, but it was definitely, I mean, bringing two more states on board and some promise for some more to come because right after that, we'll get to it, but there were some states that voted in Democratic majorities into their legislature, and they're now going to start planning on legalizing marijuana. Even in Texas, there were a number of local ordinances to decriminalize.
Saw that. That's kind of big
that
for
were
Texas.
happening. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and granted, I mean Texas is seen as conservative because it's part of the South, but like, I don't know, man. You like pull
Texas
the people
like
there. It's all over the place. It's like its own fucking country, right?
It's turning like it's becoming California-esque.
Yeah.
It's like
right.
It's like its own thing.
Yep. You have your hot blue zones of like everybody's compressed together in these big cities, and then you have like just red mass out in like cow country. And like wine country.
Dallas, Houston, Austin, and then the rest.
Yeah. Little Bart, little Lisa, and the rest. What was it, Maggie, Santa's little helper, and like I want to say like a baseball glove or something? Homer's remembering, like, oh, I'll never see my children again, or something like that, or he's like disappointed.
Oh, I think it was Bart, Lisa, and the other one.
No, because he definitely says the rest, and it was the dog. And maybe it's just the dog, the cat, and the baby. They were just grouped together as the rest. So yeah, it definitely good news on the green front. Not the red wave that everybody was fearing or hoping for, depending on where their proclivities lie. I don't know what I'm talking about already.
I mean, it really just it surprised me locally.
Yeah,
like just I didn't forget 2020. I did not forget there was a bunch of people telling us to do something and then doing another. Like, that's called bad leadership and not very good integrity in my book. Mm-hmm. But what are you gonna do, politicians?
Yeah, I think it was a response to, Republicans fucking with reproductive rights, You really want to take this on? Like, you're going to inspire...
I'm 43. I personally don't have a dog in that fight anymore. I don't care.
No, certainly.
Like, I mean, I do... I care, but I don't, right? Like,
but that's what I'm saying. The people that do care, they care. And they care, and they're motivated to get out there and show how much they care. But mostly it was the kids, right?
Right.
That's what kept. I was surprised. I wasn't even following results. I went and voted, and I was like, I'm not going to think about it. I've been peeking at it because I've been curious, today. But I knew that, like, whatever was happening we're not going to know the final result for a while because what the fuck, Nevada, New Mexico. Like,
well,
what is going on? There's not that many people there, right?
Well,
is it just a poor infrastructure? Why can't they get their shit in on time?
Oh, but also, Georgia, can we change this whole stupid... Like, can you go back to just a majority like everybody else? Yeah. If they get the majority, they win. That's how it goes in 49 other states except yours.
Or just, if it comes down to that close of a race, then just, 10 paces at dawn, man.
Right. I mean,
like, shoot it out.
We did this
You're
2
Georgia,
years ago.
You can figure it. It's probably still in the legislature. You just forgot about it.
It is Georgia, yeah. But it's like you did this 2 years ago with Warnock and whoever the fuck was running against him then.
Exactly.
It's like, do you both what has it got to be? It's got to be a plurality over 50%.
I got to imagine, this shit ain't cheap.
Yeah.
Elections aren't cheap.
The gift of another election. Yeah.
Runoffs aren't cheap. I imagine they're just as expensive as doing the election itself. And then, you're just eating up taxpayer money. Like, just...
Come on, Georgia. The person with the highest percentage wins. 49. The rest of us do it. Please join us.
Yep. Yeah, you're just being pedantic. Like, you're taking majority too seriously. No, it ain't a majority. Ain't over 50%. And how do you get there? Like, a bunch of write-in votes? Like, is that how?
No, just that they didn't have over 50%, so they have to go to a runoff.
Yeah, but if you're considering that there's like two candidates that are getting like all of the votes, right? Mm-hmm. Like, one of them has to, like, in order to beat the other one, just like what we're looking at in the Senate, like, it's. It comes right down to like somebody's got to get over 50.
Well, I wonder if,
I guess you could get exactly 50, but that's not what happened either. It was.
I just wonder if I don't live in Georgia. Why do I care?
I don't know.
But the runoff rules, like,
this isn't a politics podcast.
Like the runoff rules, is it like just if you just get the majority in the runoff, you win, or do they? There's that like It's got to stop at some point, right? Because what if it just keeps happening? Oh, another runoff. Oh, another runoff.
Yeah. I don't know. I hear runoff in Georgia. I just think don't drink it.
Right, yeah.
Or as Johnny Cash says, tastes like this runoff of Luther's boot.
Oh, I traveled with a vape pen again. This time to Florida.
You went to Florida with drugs? Wow.
Well, again, it's all about where you're leaving from, right? I really did.
You're in the movie Blow.
Right? Well, yeah, that's me. Going, really, again, not really an issue for me because it's all about the legality where you are leaving from.
Right.
Now, I was going to just leave the pen in Florida, but it was like almost full. I was like,
but that's the thing is,
I paid for this.
Oh, really?
So I was like,
but wait, back up. So you're saying like you're leaving in.
I bought a pen in Michigan.
Right.
Brought it to Florida.
Right. And you're saying that because it's legal and where you're flying out of, there's no issue about going through the airport there.
It's all technically, it's
the feds don't really care, and the local has nothing. It's legal.
Well, I mean, technically, you're not supposed to have. It's federal property, so you're not supposed to have pot on federal property. But yeah, if you get caught with it at the airport, it's all about what the local Smokies think.
Yeah.
And here, the Wayne County Police would be like, "Are you fucking serious?"
And then where you arrive at, even if it
unless you go through customs, they don't know.
Right, because you're coming off a plane, like you've already been checked.
Yes,
you're clear.
Because kids pick up on the context clues. You put it in your carry-on. You don't put it in any bag you're checking.
Yeah.
Any bag you're checking will get searched.
Yeah.
They tell you it doesn't. It gets, did it for 7 years, your bag gets searched when you check it.
Yeah.
I've had plenty of little souvenirs left on my bag, like pretty much it said, "Hey, we went through your bag." So, but yeah, then when you land, it's in your carry-on. Unless you're landing in a border, under an international border, and you got to go through customs, you ain't getting searched.
Yeah,
you're just getting off the plane and going to your Hertz rent-a-car. And
so you bought some vape in Detroit at prices that are plummeting.
Yeah.
Sorry. Here's what I found. Sorry, that was my
one of our series thinks they're talking to it. We didn't even say it.
They're going to change it now so that they're going to get rid of the hey, so you don't even have to say, "Hey Siri."
But you've conditioned me, Apple, for fucking 15 years.
Now it's just Siri. Well, I guess my devices haven't updated yet. See, it never triggers when you want.
Does this mean you don't have to say, "Okay, Google" anymore?
It means that in 5 years you won't have to say, "Okay, Google" anymore.
Bazing.
Okay, so you bought some vape in Detroit.
Mm-hmm. Flew to Orlando.
Flew to Orlando.
And then, I was going to be like, fuck it. I'm not going to chance the Florida airport. But then I was like, this pen is full and I'm cheap.
So you just
fuck it, dude.
Left it in your pocket?
Put it in my carry-on. I've just put it in the rat's nest that are the cables I need for everything when I travel. And dude, I just thought of remember, same rules apply. They're not looking for explosives. They're not looking for drugs. They're looking for explosives. And I'm like, what will this look like in the X-ray? This will look like a Breeze vape pen in the X-ray. When I had a regular ass vape pen, it looked like they didn't care. But this will look like a vape pen in the X-ray. They won't care.
Yep. Yeah, and
they didn't. But before, oh man, trust me, somebody who hasn't done this before, somebody with a little less constitution would have fucking freaked out and ran. Because you had to walk 2 by 2 in front of the dog.
Oh, yeah. When I went to New York, I had to do that.
But I've been in this situation before, and I've gone in front of the dog with a half a joint in my pocket, not knowing I've had a half a joint in my pocket, and sailed through security, gotten to my destination, hey, why does it smell like weed? Oh, there's a half a joint in my pocket. This would have been very awkward at security. But,
that dog needs to retire.
The dog's there for explosives.
Right.
Yeah, it's not, again, you're not accustomed.
Well, I think, okay, yeah, right. You're flying locally, so they're not really worried about.
I'm sure the dog at customs is also trained to sniff for weed and coke.
But who's transporting drugs on a plane when you could drive it?
Yeah,
that would be
college
stupid.
Kids. Yeah.
No, but I mean, if you're gonna
domestically,
you're not moving mass quantities through domestic
flights. If you're trying to pick a pound of weed from Detroit to Chicago, fucking drive it, dumbass. Yeah, for sure.
You ain't Jackie Brown.
But so I just got through again, and it was just like, wow, this is getting easier and easier.
Mm-hmm. And they don't even know. I mean, they don't know if it's...
Well, because specifically for that trip, I bought a Breeze one. So it looked like... This just looks like... Unless they read it.
Right.
This just looks like one I can go buy at the corner store.
I even scraped the thing off that said like Canna or some Buzz
I did
or
not.
something like that. So it just looks like a regular Breeze.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, it looks like I, tried to remove something from it.
I mean, I was telling
just tell him I'm fidgety.
My friend I traveled with, I was like,
chew on it.
I wonder how, it's like, the clock's ticking on this with the government. This is going to have like a big old pot leaf on it soon, or have like, so this is weed just right across it.
I can't believe that they're getting away with producing two products that look so similar. And
well, at least with the Michigan laws, how because they put the label on the packaging.
Yeah,
because the Michigan label, you got to have the little weed sticker, but they put it on the packaging that you can take off.
Right, you just remove the packaging.
Yeah,
and no, Ma, this is my nicotine pen.
Well, no, I even had to tell the same friend who shakes down his kid and finds shit like that. Like, hey, dude, if it says chill on it, that's weed. Don't give that to me. Keep that. That's for you. Like, I get all the nicotine vapes. He's like, oh, good call. I was like, yeah, a less ethical person would have let you give me his weed vapes when you find them. But I'm letting you know.
We had daylight savings time, so we all got to put an hour in the bank that will pay back next spring.
Allegedly.
Never
pays back now. It's lighter when we wake up.
It never makes any interest, though. No, actually what happens is the government's figured out how to pause the rotation of the Earth for an hour.
Yes.
Just let the sun catch up.
Mm-hmm. Every year we hit pause.
I don't know. It doesn't pay back. I see no advantage of daylight saving time. I'm over this
somebody
shit.
Who was drinking last Saturday night, that was definitely handy for having to get up for the airport the next morning.
Oh, you got an extra hour to...
Yeah.
Well, you got an extra hour to drink. Actually, it was probably detrimental.
Well, no, we did
you close the bar down?
No, we did not.
Yeah.
Stay out late drinking, but we were drinking that night, and we came home at a reasonable hour. Because 40s, and but it just didn't enable us. We all just
40s, not the kind you drink.
Yeah, we were all able to get up at 4 a.m. and not hate life.
Wait, why did you have to get up at 4?
6 a.m. flight.
Oh.
But yeah, every year okay, listen, either do it or don't, because it seems like the last 5 years we get the whole month about, do we really need this? Blah, blah, blah. And Congress is going to meet to talk about getting rid of this once and for all. Well, it's been a half a decade. Do it or don't.
Well, it's not a national law, is it? I mean, it's something that states choose to observe, right?
There's only 2 states that don't do it.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. It's like it's not up to the feds to whether maybe.
Well, yeah, it is. No, it was put in. It's a federal. It was something to do with the farmers. It's the 2 states choose not to participate.
So it's a federal law that you can opt out of.
I guess.
I don't think that's how it works. I don't know. I think it's a federal program that probably sponsored laws through the states that would. Get everybody on board with it.
It's something that revolves around back when our economy evolved around. Granted, there's still a large piece of our economy is still agriculture. I get it, but not like it was. And this was put in place when our economy revolved around farming.
Mm-hmm. The economy revolved around putting your kids to work.
Yeah. I was giving someone my bully pulpit speech again today about our education system. Yeah, cool. 12th grade was, when you're going to a factory or a farm, 12th grade was all you needed. We don't do that anymore.
A story in CNN, they say that permanent daylight savings time will hurt our health. Is that why would we do permanent daylight? Why wouldn't we just not change it? Or what? I don't even know what the difference would be. Let's see. The call to end the antiquated practice of clock changing is gaining momentum throughout the nation. This is from Marco Rubio, who just visited in Florida, who first introduced the bill. I would say he's the one supporting the getting rid of the daylight savings time. Probably because that's how they steal elections. They use that extra hour to count the votes. Let's see.
It's an extra hour where all they do is count liberal votes.
Yeah, exactly. Studies over the last 25 years have shown the 1 hour change disrupts body rhythms tuned to Earth's rotation, adding fuel to the debate over whether having daylight savings time in any form is a good idea. That's disrupts body rhythms tuned to Earth rotation. Like, that's some hippie shit, man.
Like, I'm now of the theory that you can find somebody to say whatever you want for any article. There are just some...
Okay, so standard time is what we're in now.
Yes.
Okay.
Daylight savings is...
That's what we had. So we just got back the hour that we invested in spring.
Yes.
My joke was wrong. And bad. So that doesn't even make it a joke.
Yeah, so it really, in the summertime would be getting dark around like 8, not 9. The longest day of the year, the sun would be out till almost
I get
9,
that.
not 10.
Research has shown both heart attacks and fatal car accidents increase after the clock falls forward in the spring. Children also end up going to school in the morning while it is still dark, with disastrous consequences. Which the article doesn't elaborate on, so you just have to imagine.
How did we do it for 12 years, Aaron?
You just have to imagine.
Oh, my God. It was dark.
Is this really from CNN? Yeah, that's CNN. Okay. Disastrous consequences. Dun, dun, dun. Tune in next week to see how.
My new rule with hyperbole is you got to show me the receipts. You have to... What are your disastrous consequences?
Exactly. That's what, in a news article, you're used to seeing, with disastrous consequences, the following sentences being, studies from this period to this period found that there were more child fatalities being struck by cars walking to school during daylight savings time.
Examples.
Like, I can make it up.
Yes.
Off the top of my head, I can come up with something that, but that's what I'm saying. I'm sure there is data there that you can go and find, but they're just like, well, you can imagine what it's like, right? Moving on.
I just find that so many... We talked about this before, and I find that, at least in the last few months, I find that the feeling where the article just ends, I'm like, wait, what? You forgot to finish your article.
The article ends, or the ideas don't really flow from one paragraph to the next. It's just all non sequiturs.
We're getting to the point where almost all of the article is... all of the information in the article is in the headline. Yeah. We're almost to that point. It's like, wait, no, I get that's what your headline said, but that's all the information you're giving me? No background? It's like they're just trying to get the clicks to be quicker and quicker and quicker.
Yeah. And Twitter isn't helping. Twitter is one of the main things that's killing news, honestly. Yeah. People just sharing headlines, and that's it. Nobody's clicking on it, reading it, supporting it. Somebody will do a screen cap of the headline and a couple choice, sentences from the article, and that's all anybody reads.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all right. I don't think Twitter is going to be around much longer.
Yeah, I hope it dies.
Yeah?
I hope.
I have no animosity toward it. But I'm a lurker. I'm not a Twitter participator, and there's no way that they'd get any money out of me.
I think what Twitter has done to society, I hope it dies.
Yeah. Let's think. Elon Musk is good at specific things, and when you have that much money and that much yes men around you, I guess you just figure you can do everything.
I think half of what's going on right now,
build submarines, build a flamethrower.
Do you really think he's stupid enough to not hire a bunch of people who would know how to run that company correctly? I think half of this is just him being a troll.
Well, so he did fire a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
Right. He asked some of them back, but
he's the richest dude in the world. How many successful companies do you have? You really think he doesn't know how to... I'm going to find a bunch of people who are really good at social media and bring them in to run Twitter.
The thing that does make Twitter unique, and why there are so many journalists, writers, creators on that platform that still use it and get a lot out of it, is because it has such a robust backbone to it. It was able to take on, going back to January 6th, the storm in the Capitol, right?
Mm-hmm.
Me and just about everybody else in America was on Twitter following that in real time, and it didn't crash. It was updating. It wasn't giving you warnings like you can't post right now, we have too many things. It wasn't crashing the app at all. It is actually, and the reason is because they invested a lot in the people that actually make it run. And that's what Elon Musk got rid of. Well, that's where he carved out most of his savings as soon as he bought the thing.
But he's doing what most guys, he's bringing in his own team. Hey, I just became...
I don't know that he is. Last I heard, he fired half of that staff. There were some key members that were asked back when he realized how important they were. But beyond that, I haven't heard that he's brought on, that he's expanding, because the whole point is to cut costs, because it doesn't make money.
Yeah, he said only 2 out of the last 12 years they've actually turned a profit.
I'm surprised that they did it for 2 years.
Yeah. No, he's, at least right now, he's the richest guy in the world. I think you don't get to be the richest guy in the world by being bad at business.
No, but you can fail miserably and ruin a lot of things just by being hubristic, right? By thinking that, like, you can make anything into money. And how does he make this into money? That's the thing. Like,
it's charging for it.
Well, it's his now. Charging isn't going to work. Not by the model that he thinks it is, because the blue check it's just to make sure that they're not impersonating somebody. That's the whole purpose of it. So,
although that thing over the weekend where all the celebrities were doing that, I was thinking like they were all missing the point, because what if I did that to your account? You'd be pissed. What if
that is the point?
Just reverse. What if I made an account and said I was Kathy Griffin and I was going around saying I was, she'd be pissed. Like, I think they were all missing the point. They were all doing that to Elon, changing their name.
I think you might be missing the point, though, because the point is that shit happened all the time until they instituted the blue checkmark policy, right? And it still happens because people just are dumb and don't know, but it's now and having a blue checkmark means that all that nonsense is filtered out of your own feed if you have the checkmark as well. So it's kind of a buffer from all that shit. You don't even have to you don't have to let the hem of your dress touch the dirty water. You can just skate right over it.
The filthy unwashed mashes can't touch you.
Exactly. And now that you're selling the blue check mark for $8, that means that all that's back again. So that is their point, that they're going to get this whole flood of people now impersonating them, and Twitter is going to become unusable.
Good.
So
I think what it is contributed to society is the bad has outweighed the good, and I hope that fucker dies.
Yeah, I mean, I have a hard time disagreeing with you there, because these are not really measurable things, and I've seen probably equal amounts, good and bad. I think it's actually a platform that has the most, still has. I'm going to speak in the present tense about it. It still has the most promise out of any of the social media platforms to actually do, I don't know, I'm not saying good, like, it's doing good for the world.
I understand its validity as a newswire, absolutely.
Newswire, again, for creators, for, musicians,
for us,
artists,
it's trust me, if you're hearing our voice, you've most likely found us because of Twitter.
For podcasts, definitely. I mean, it's a really strong platform, and it still has a lot of promise if you use correctly. But if this is how they think that they're going to make it profitable, it's not going to happen. It's just not.
It just become an echo chamber anyway. To me, that's the other reason I think why a lot of people's panties are in a bunch. Opposing views might get in their echo chamber.
I see. That's where I disagree with you. It is an echo chamber, but there's nothing unique about Twitter that makes it an echo chamber. Everything's a fucking echo chamber. You get a bunch of people together and they all want to have the same fucking opinion.
True.
And the ones who don't are in the other fucking group who have the same opinion as them. That's just how the people are, just fucking tribal, and they're going to tribalize any platform. Now, can you make tools that maybe helps people get out of their bubble? Can we tweak social media platforms so that it actually is showing us stuff that maybe haven't shown any interest in, but we could be curious about if we encountered it, right? Instead of just going, well, this guy like searched for trucks, so we're just going to flood his fucking feed with trucks. Because now we know they like, because every fucking social media program is like your fucking grandma. Or every platform is like your fucking grandma. They find you say, like, when you're 8, you're like, I like frogs. And for the next fucking 10 years, you're getting shirts with frogs, little pendants with frogs. Here's a little, like, I don't even know what to do with this. It's got anything with a fucking frog on it. Socks.
You think I don't understand? It's not a coincidence. All of a sudden in the last 2 weeks, everything in my feeds is real estate based. Shocking. Because all I've been looking up is real estate stuff.
Podcasts that I listen to. I swear to God, I listen to a podcast. I don't even speak out loud about it. Right? I'm not even like entering it into my, like typing it into a search engine or talking to somebody where Siri could overhear it. I'm listening to a podcast about something and my social media starts feeding me stuff that the podcast is fucking talking about.
You know, I love boat reruns showing up in your podcast. A lot of 70s TV shows.
I listen to a lot of X-Men podcasts.
No, have you noticed? Rich turned me onto this. That shit even goes on at the gas pump now. Like, if you're there's
advertising certainly is, but
there's certain pumps. I can't call out the brand right now, but there's certain pumps that if your cell phone is near it, I can tell what you've looked up, and you'll see ads for shit that you've looked up.
Yep.
Like, there's one, I think it's...
That's fucking Minority Report.
Yeah,
like the ads
we don't
are talking to us. Like,
we've done it to ourselves.
Hi, Chris. Getting some more unleaded, huh? Hey, have you checked out the hot dogs at the Speedway?
Like, we voluntarily have done it to ourselves. Me and Rich were talking about this the other day. You don't need to chip us. We're carrying around ourselves.
Or if you don't want a gas station hot dog, I see by the porn that you look at on your phone, you like big tits. How about the Hooters down the street?
Yeah. We went, hey, look at the shiny, fancy chip we're going to give you with all the information we're going to need for everything we need to know and market to you. Like I said, it's not going to be under our skin. We carry it around voluntarily.
We show it off.
Every September, we want to get the newest one.
The mark of the beast is the apple.
Yeah.
Did you know that the leaf on the apple fits perfectly in the bite out of the side of the apple? Have you ever looked at it?
I think I did know that.
Yeah. Like literally you could just, if it was made out of wood, it would just be like a puzzle and you put it together and make a whole apple. That's designed for you.
Yes.
I don't know. I thought it was clever.
Yes. Back when I used to think about designing logos.
Yeah. Do you ever see the arrow and the FedEx? Never. Now we're just doing like like spam ads of like 10 things you wouldn't believe.
The Weedsman Podcast. ChristopherMedia.net.
Tired of long waits and rushed care at the ER and urgent care clinic? Next time, stay home and let Dispatch Health bring the power of the hospital to you.
I call Dispatch Health. A care team of medical professionals actually come to your house.
They're the same caliber of people that you would see if you were at a hospital or an urgent care.
Dispatch Health can treat most non-life-threatening emergencies.
They can do the x-rays, they can do stitches,
urinary tract infections, blood test, urinalysis, ultrasound.
It's almost everything that they can do at the ER.
You never feel rushed. They're there for you and only you.
I felt like their only patient.
And it costs no more than a trip to urgent care because Dispatch Health is covered by most insurance, including Medicare. See if we serve your home at dispatchhealth.com.
Dispatch Health really went above and beyond.
It's wonderful to have care come to your home.
House calls are back, and they're better than ever. Learn more at dispatchhealth.com.
Lucky Land Slots, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Tired of long waits and rushed care at the ER and urgent care clinic? Next time, stay home and let Dispatch Health bring the power of the hospital to you.
I call Dispatch Health. A care team of medical professionals actually come to your house.
They're the same caliber of people that you would see if you were at a hospital or an urgent care.
Dispatch Health can treat most non-life-threatening emergencies.
They can do the x-rays, they can do stitches.
Urinary tract infections, blood test, urinalysis, ultrasound.
It's almost everything that they can do at the ER.
You never feel rushed. They're there for you and only you.
I felt like their only patient.
And it costs no more than a trip to urgent care because Dispatch Health is covered by most insurance, including Medicare. See if we serve your home at dispatchhealth.com.
Dispatch Health really went above and beyond.
It's wonderful to have care come to your home.
House calls are back, and they're better than ever. Learn more at dispatchhealth.com. Tired of long waits and rushed care at the ER and urgent care clinic? Next time, stay home and let Dispatch Health bring the power of the hospital to you.
I call Dispatch Health. A care team of medical professionals actually come to your house.
They're the same caliber of people that you would see if you were at a hospital or an urgent care.
Dispatch Health can treat most non-life-threatening emergencies.
They can do the x-rays, they can do stitches.
Urinary tract infections, blood test, urinalysis, ultrasound.
It's almost everything that they can do at the ER.
You never feel rushed. They're there for you and only you.
I felt like their only patient.
And it costs no more than a trip to urgent care because Dispatch Health is covered by most insurance, including Medicare. See if we serve your home at dispatchhealth.com.
Dispatch Health really went above and beyond.
It's wonderful to have care come to your home.
House calls are back, and they're better than ever. Learn more at dispatchhealth.com.
Lucky Land Slots, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Tired of long waits and rushed care at the ER and urgent care clinic? Next time, stay home and let Dispatch Health bring the power of the hospital to you.
I call Dispatch Health. A care team of medical professionals actually come to your house.
They're the same caliber of people that you would see if you were at a hospital or an urgent care.
Dispatch Health can treat most non-life-threatening emergencies.
They can do the x-rays, they can do stitches.
Urinary tract infections, blood test, urinalysis, ultrasound.
It's almost everything that they can do at the ER.
You never feel rushed. They're there for you and only you.
I felt like their only patient.
And it costs no more than a trip to urgent care because Dispatch Health is covered by most insurance, including Medicare. See if we serve your home at dispatchhealth.com.
Dispatch Health really went above and beyond.
It's wonderful to have care come to your home.
House calls are back, and they're better than ever. Learn more at dispatchhealth.com.
ChristopherMedia.net. The Weedsman Podcast.
Speaking of those, do you ever know those numbers are so arbitrary? The other day, like 38, or the top 17.
The listicles?
Yeah. The top 27. I'm like, where? Yeah.
33 and 3/4 things you didn't know about Liam Hemsworth.
What happened to 10, 20, 5?
It'll be like, he has brothers. One of them would be like, and then the next fact would be, one of his brothers is named Chris, and the next fact, one of his brothers is named...
I think they went through Wikipedia. All right, we got all the facts. It's the top 18 things about Liam Hemsworth.
Because I just imagine, like, every quote-unquote news organization is just a room full of 18-year-olds and one 55-year-old chomping on a cigar going, people like this.
Right.
And then they're all just typing like monkeys.
Yeah, like the Office Monkey memes.
Filling up the page with words like they were typing their, like they have a quota for their book report. Like, this book was very, very, very good and awesome, and I liked it so much. How many words is that?
Their own 16-point font.
But yeah, the listicles are, I can't, like, a top 10 list. Who doesn't like a good top 10 list? Not just any top 10. Everybody likes a good top 10 list. It's the perfect, it's a perfect, like, for your attention span. You know, you can peel right through top 10. You can debate the order. Once you get into, like, top 38.
Yeah.
who is this for? Who is going through all 38 of these things?
Yeah.
And it's like top 38 things you didn't know you could do with Windows shortcut keys. Like,
yeah.
Oh boy, I have to take a long shit. This is perfect.
Yeah. The top 17 things you're not doing with iOS 16.
The 658 things you could do now to prevent cancer by 45.
Yeah.
And number 372 will shock you.
You're right. Oh, dude, there's another new headline trope that stop it now. Stop it.
What is it?
I've seen it like a half a dozen times in the last week. Said the quiet part out loud. I've seen it in like 9 headlines in the last week. So, Elon said the quiet part out loud. The Republicans say the quiet part out loud. It's like, okay. All right, 24-year-olds. I get it. You're writing the headlines.
That joke has an origin, right? Like, I'm trying to think.
They seem to go away, but I'm sure they'll be back. The yes, comma, ... or no, comma. Like, those headlines just sound obnoxious.
Yeah, like, no, the Republicans do not love you.
Yeah.
I watched the first half of the Weird Al movie today.
How is it? I hear
it's like quite excellent.
The word of mouth, I have yet to hear any bad. I had a 73-year-old man the other day tell me that movie was fucking great, and I've heard people younger than us say that movie is great.
It really is. Everybody is fucking in this movie.
That's what I hear.
And
like, is it a biopic? What is it?
It's exactly what it should be. And what I mean is that, Weird Al does something very specific very well. He takes, and by very well, not meaning that like, oh, he's very good at like crafting, the lyric and changing the lyrics to other people's songs. He does the whole thing really well, right? If he's going to do a parody song, he's going to record it really well. He's going to get a good band. He himself plays really well
his band is awesome.
Sings really well.
His band for 50 years has been replicating.
Yeah. And doing it amazing. He works with good producers, I'm sure. He's got an ear, but it's all for a joke, which is what makes it perfect, right? The fact that all this effort, all this work goes into a joke, and it works. And it feels like a real song, but it's not.
Yeah.
But it is. And that's what this movie is. Like, it feels and acts like a typical biopic, but it's just all wrong.
So it's a parody of a biopic, but a biopic?
Right. And
so it's like if Weird Al made a biopic.
Yes. It's like Weird Al's like definitely, he's all over the movie. He's in the movie.
Mm-hmm. It's not Weird Al, from what I hear.
Yes. And what's his name? The fucking Harry Potter kid.
Daniel Radcliffe.
He is amazing. He is just, he's like, I've known actually from watching Miracle Workers that he actually knows how to do comedy really well. He is a great comedic actor. And, I don't know, it's not like he's trying to do an impression of Weird Al. And it's not even that he looks like Weird Al all that much. It's just he's got the energy, and you throw the fucking crazy wig and glasses on anyone, and people are like, "Hey, it's Weird Al." Do
they address UHF in this movie?
No, because it's not going to.
One of the greatest movies of all time.
If there is any real information in this movie, you would have to know it ahead of time to be able to point it out. There's certain like, oh yeah, they snuck that in. That's actually true, Like, it's one of those things, if you're a real nerd, you would nudge your girlfriend and go, hey, he actually did that in real life. But really, it's all bullshit. I mean, let's put it, I'm right at, no spoilers because I only got halfway through the movie, but his career has blown up as a parody artist. And he he has just presented to the record label his first original composition, right? Mm-hmm. He's going to branch away from the parody. He wrote and produced and recorded and all this himself. He owns it, and he plays for them. Eat It. Which is probably like one of his most popular songs.
Yeah.
And that's just the joke. That they set it up where he has this like acid trip where like someone's offering him Captain Crunch and Raisin Bran. And like, you know, he's like, you hear the words to the song ahead of time and and it's like, oh, he's getting inspired. He's going to write the song. And then he does. He writes Eat It. And then he's like, this is my own composition. Like, I've evolved as an artist. And everybody's just like, yeah. I mean, I don't know where it's going, if they're going to address but like, yeah, it's complete bullshit, but it is amazing fun.
I have to check that out.
I guess you can watch it. It's
on the Roku channel.
The Roku channel. Yes.
It's free.
Yeah, I was able to watch it. I watched it, part of it at work. I watched it on my iPad. I was able to shoot it to my TV with the minimal ads. I've never watched anything on the Roku channel before, but
neither have I. Apparently, I'm going to.
Another thing that I know I've already recommended this, but it just keeps getting better. Andor on Disney Plus. It's Star Wars, but it's so beyond Star Wars. Honestly, the last episode, episode 10, the one that they just aired as of recording this, was probably the best piece of Star Wars thing that I've ever seen. And there's there's droids in it and there's aliens. They don't flood it. It's really just about the human rebels. And it's not about Jedis. It's not about, there's spaceships, but it's not about spaceships. You know, the story itself, you could have told this about, you know, Nazi Germany. You could take any, you know, war tragedy, war story and overlay this story on it. And yeah, the performances are all really great. Andy Serkis pops up in it in the last few episodes, and he's great. Do you know who Andy Serkis is? This is a guy who, he was actually in Star Wars already, but he was the old decrepit Jedi, or not Jedi, the Sith dude that gets cut in half in the one movie. He was like, Snapes?
Oh, yeah.
Snipes?
Yeah.
One of those. Very creative name.
Yeah.
He did all the motion capture for that. He's also done motion capture acting for he was Caesar in the Planet of the Apes movies. He was Gollum in the Lord of the Rings movies. So all the big motion capture stuff, he's done it. And then Marvel actually gave him a part as a villain in the first Black Panther movie. And he had acted before, but that was one of his probably highest profile gig where he doesn't have dots all over his face when he's filming. And he was good in it. He was real solid. He shows up in Andor and just fucking blows the fucking doors off of that show. He is giving it his all. And it's not it's a really good cast in that. Bill Skarsgård is in Andor as well, who is fucking fantastic. And yeah, it's just it was just the reason I say it was probably the best, because even though, Star Wars is something that will always kind of trigger me. You show me a couple droids in a spaceship and I'm like, let's go, and I'm in for all that fun stuff too. I'm not slagging all the rest of Star Wars well, this is Andor's adult stuff and that's just kiddie stuff. It's all good fun. But Andor is handling the material and the universe with the seriousness that I don't think anybody else really has. And they're saying, the creators really feel like they're just saying, this is just another war story. We know what happens during war. And yeah, why would it be any different in space?
What they're saying is don't brace for season 2.
Oh no, there's going to be a season 2. They've already they're already. I think
what I've heard from this is getting people who have no interest in Star Wars into Star Wars.
Absolutely. If you're a fan of like shows like The Americans or Better Call Saul or shows like that, you know, you like those tense dramas that really, you know, that no, like I will say this. The first few episodes feel like they stretch the taffy a bit, where it probably could have been 1 or maybe 2 episodes, but they stretched it out. They're like, let's slow play this. Now, whether that was to like up an episode count from like, oh, we want 12 episodes instead of 10, or, you know, or that was intentional, it's a slow start, push through, it all pays off. By the time you get to episode 4, every episode has my blood pumping by the end of it. Like it's one of those shows that really gets me actively involved. It's not a passive watch. And it's not, you know, and it's doing that through the drama that it's creating, the intensity of the performances that they're getting. That's what really cranks up the tension, not just because there's going to be a big explosion or a lot of robots or stormtroopers or shit like that.
So actually relying on the writing.
Yeah, yes, it's heavily. I mean, the dialogue is all great. The speech that Bill Skarsgård gives, he's like this kind of middleman guy who's like orchestrating all these rebel movements all over the galaxy. And, you know, the Empire's trying to find out who he is. And he gives a speech to one of his spies as to like, because the spy asks him, well, I'm out there, you know, risking my life. What are you doing? What have you given up? And he's like, fucking everything. My entire life has been devoted to like, I knew that I was giving up any semblance of being a real human being, that I was throwing my whole fucking life away to fight this evil that was creeping across the universe because I knew it had to be done and somebody had to fucking do it. And it's, yeah, I mean, it feels like it really is additive to the Star Wars universe, because that was what we were really missing, is like, what really happened to all these people? You know, we've seen the heroes that have, you know, that have fought the Empire, but what about, you know, where did these people come from? You know, like, not the Jedi story where like they were born kind of special and then somebody had to find them and this was all predestined or whatever the fuck. Like, what happens to the rest of the people?
And you have to train for years, unless you're Rey.
What happens to people who aren't force sensitive at all, don't have any connections, are just getting ground under the heel of a fucking government that doesn't give a shit about them? And that's part of why it feels like really empowering too. So it makes me not only excited for more Andor, but given that this is widening the appeal of Star Wars to people who, you know, kind of written it off before, that means that Disney's going to respond with more shows like this, and it's great. You know, you should have Star Wars cartoons for toddlers. You should have Star Wars cartoons and live actions for kids. You should have live action and animation, if they're into it, for adults. You should have it all. There's no reason why everybody can't enjoy this shit.
You're saying you're a proponent for there's Star Wars for all walks of life.
Absolutely.
And Disney agrees with you.
Well, you know, I know I've talked like, I've pretty much enjoyed most of the Star Wars shows, but they definitely vary in quality. But they're all just enjoyable. But, you know, Obi-Wan, when you put it like side by side compared to Andor, all they're doing is like, people like Ewan McGregor, people like Obi-Wan, like, let's just have him walk through a story and people are like, there he is.
Yeah, like, hey, remember?
Oh, he's doing it.
Yeah. Hey, remember when Ewan McGregor was Obi-Wan? It's just a member berry.
Yeah. Or Chris Farley, he's in interviewing Paul McCartney. Like, remember when?
The Chris Farley. Remember when you were Obi-Wan?
Yeah, remember when you had a lightsaber? And
that was awesome.
That was great.
Hey, remember when you were in the Beatles? And you said the love you take is equal to the love you make. Is that true? It was like the one question he only asked.
Have you watched that edited video of McCartney and Rick Rubin listening to All Star?
No.
It's really great. It had me for a few seconds. I was like, why are they listening to All Star? Because they have all the stems and they're like, they synced it all up so that it looks like they're remixing it.
Well, when I heard about it, my bullshit detector went off. I was like, none of them had anything to do with either of them. Rick Rubin wouldn't.
Right. Yeah.
If Smash Mouth paid him $100 million, I don't think Rick Rubin would work with Smash Mouth.
But it's funny what it does to your brain when you watch it, right? Because I'm watching this and obviously it's edited, but you see Paul McCartney and he's like bopping back and forth and he's kind of like miming playing the guitar and he's like enjoying himself. And you're like, hey, if Paul McCartney can find something in All Star, maybe I'm being a snob here. Like, it's got a catchy little riff there, right? Then you're like, man, this is all edited. Man, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
The whole joke is it's a bad fucking song, and they would never do this.
It's terrible.
Yeah. The real session would be like, you got a bunch of shit here, but I don't know how you paste this together into a real song. Anyway, let's just record over it.
Right. Well, joke's on us. It was a number one.
Oh, for sure. That band made a lot of money. They were all over fucking soundtracks and shit. Mm-hmm. For like, I don't know, like that was a period for the record industry where, you could apparently make a shit ton of money, get on the radio, but like,
it was before
very few people were proudly displaying your jewel box CD in their collection.
It was
just full of the dollar bins are just full of Smash Mouth.
When they thought they were too big to fail. It was before the internet came, and somebody brought this up the other day. 20 years ago, 25 years, we were giving Lars so much shit, and all he was doing was saying, no, here's what's coming. This is bad. Let's not do this. Like, Lars was just trying to be like, hey, our jobs are about to be fucked, everybody.
Yeah. Right.
And we were all like, whatever, you can't pay your Puerto Rican pool boy. And no, he was just trying to be like, no, our industry's about to be upended.
Yeah, if I'm losing money, like you're all losing money.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was, what is her name? Phoebe Bridgers. I think that's the article that I didn't actually, this is one of those I didn't read the article, but I just saw the headline. And she was saying about how touring these days has become hard to even break even. And most of the time she's wondering if she's going to go into debt.
Well, if you suck, yeah.
No, look, I don't know enough about her music to say whether she sucks or not, but like people like her. People buy her albums. Like she's a pretty decently selling artist, and she's successful. She's successful enough where she should be able to be going out on the road anywhere and making money.
Well, do you still check in Club Random?
Yeah.
Did you the Kid Rock one a couple weeks ago?
Yes.
Apparently,
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Apparently, he's making the most money he's ever made touring right now with the merch and his concert tickets.
Yeah. I think it might speak to your audience, like Phoebe Bridgers fans.
Well, yeah, if you're catering to people under 30,
fucking poor.
Yeah, good luck getting people under 30 to leave the house.
Leave the house. Kid Rock fans have,
Kid Rock fans. I don't exactly view Kid Rock fans as members of the Fortune 500. I've been to a Kid Rock show.
No, but
he makes his tickets $20 for a reason.
They probably got like $800 F-150 payments. Like they can afford to buy a couple T-shirts.
Yeah, sure. But I guess what I'm getting at is some of these people, their truck payments may be bigger than their mortgage payments.
Oh, for sure. Oh my God. Did we tell you there's a video going around that like a dealership was asking all the people that worked at it what their car payment was. People work at a fucking dealership, not a car payment, sorry, truck payment.
Mm-hmm.
None of these people are paying for any cars. What their truck payment was, and they were all 4 digits. All of them, $1,100, $1,200, $1,300 a month for a fucking truck.
On me, man.
For something that is just losing value as it drives, as it moves down the road, it is just dropping in value, and you're just funneling money into
that's
it.
The trope of that's the whole what Warren Buffett tells you about. A car's the worst investment because it's literally as soon as you leave the lot, it starts depreciating.
Yes. Land goes nowhere. Cars just go to pieces.
Yeah. Yeah, land stays in the same spot and accumulates value.
Most of it.
Yeah.
Buy in land.
City of Detroit. One of you.
Oh, that's true. That too, yeah. All right. I sent you a link. Last thing before we get out of here. I haven't watched this yet. I thought we could just be surprised together. Apparently, the Chili Peppers covered Smells Like Teen Spirit.
I think I tried to watch this and gave up.
Yeah, which I was at Hot Topic with one of my kids the other day, and some of
Did you feel old?
No, I was just looking at the Nirvana merchandise that they had there, and was like, how would I feel about this? How would a 16-year-old me feel about this, and how would Kurt Cobain feel about this? Like, just oversized hoodies with like little yellow smiley faces all over them in a pattern. I don't know. Maybe he'd love it. Like that's the thing.
Signed a major label deal.
Yeah,
he didn't care about being punk rock that much.
Yeah,
if you really cared about being punk rock, you never sign. You just stay in your little enclave in the Northwest.
And that's the thing. Like, I was trying not to be judgmental, but I was also kind of like leaning into the feeling that I was feeling and going like, what is this about? Like, why would I be just because it's ugly? Okay. So somebody made an ugly shirt that says Nirvana. Oh boy. Like the world's going to end. But I guess what the major problem is that it was merchandise that did not eschew to the image that the band portrayed when they were around, right? It's like if you made a Led Zeppelin shirt, but you spelled Led Zeppelin with like bubble letters, right? Or you were going to wear a Chicago shirt, but you just wrote the word Chicago. No, it's about the band. Like, if you don't have it in that fucking script,
right,
like, it doesn't translate. You made a Def Leppard shirt with, sans serif font.
You have an actual leopard.
Yeah, and just a leopard, yeah. That's a rather stiff beat from Chad.
Yeah.
And Kiedis isn't sounding great. I mean, overall, this just sounds like a high school band that, like, there's no fucking swing to what they're doing. Like this, especially this part of the song should really have a pumping motion to it, like whomp, 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 like it has a motion to it that feels like everybody's jumping up and down at St. Andrews and the floor is going to cave in. And this is just like, let's just plow through this song. I mean, I don't know. Maybe this isn't something that's like in their repertoire. They were just like, yeah, let's just fucking rattle this one off.
Ironically, when I think Chili Peppers, I don't think rock band.
Yeah.
I don't think loud thrashing rock.
Yeah, but I don't know what the excuse for Akitas is, because he's usually pretty decent live, right? I mean, he's better than that, and you can't blame it on the monitors like anymore. Everybody's got in-ears. Because you could blame it on old age and failing hearing.
Say we are watching somebody's cell phone video where they're standing in front of the bass amp.
Yeah, but pitch is pitch, man.
It's true. Yeah.
Like, I wasn't speaking to the sound quality.
Hey, Flea's wearing a dress. Who'd have thought? At least he's keeping the cock covered. No one wants to see your 55-year-old wiener.
Yeah, I was just thinking if we could go out on a better note than that.
What? No one wants? What? I think it's fair. No one wants to see 55. Maybe a 55-year-old woman wants to see a 55-year-old wiener.
Some people do. Well, look, I'm going to be 55 sooner than later.
It's true. Yeah.
I still hope that somebody's going to want to look at it.
You don't say the quiet part out loud. Don't do that math. All right. So follow us on the social media at the Weezer420 on Twitter. While it's there, before it burns to the ground. And we're on Facebook where you can like and share us. And go to ChristopherMedia.net. Hit the PayPal button and the Amazon banner if you'd like to help us out. Hey, it's that time of year. You'll be on Amazon a lot. You know, help the podcast out. And wherever you listen to the Weedsman, rate us, review us, because that's how you help other people find the show. And I don't know what the hell happened last week, but I hope it continues this week. A lot of new listeners last week, so whatever.
Oh, yeah? Hey,
if you're liking and sharing, it's working.
We're still growing, huh?
Yeah, we're still here, but not for this week. So stay high.
Stay high.
Tired of long waits and rushed care at the ER and urgent care clinic? Next time, stay home and let Dispatch Health bring the power of the hospital to you.
I call Dispatch Health. A care team of medical professionals actually come to your house.
They're the same caliber of people that you would see if you were at a hospital or an urgent care.
Dispatch Health can treat most non-life-threatening emergencies.
They can do the x-rays, they can do stitches,
urinary tract infections, blood test, urinalysis, ultrasound.
It's almost everything that they can do at the ER.
You never feel rushed. They're there for you and only you.
I felt like their only patient.
And it costs no more than a trip to urgent care because Dispatch Health is covered by most insurance, including Medicare. See if we serve your home at dispatchhealth.com.
Dispatch Health really went above and beyond.
It's wonderful to have care come to your home.
House calls are back, and they're better than ever. Learn more at dispatchhealth.com. Tired of long waits and rushed care at the ER and urgent care clinic? Next time, stay home and let Dispatch Health bring the power of the hospital to you.
I call Dispatch Health. A care team of medical professionals actually come to your house.
They're the same caliber of people that you would see if you were at a hospital or an urgent care.
Dispatch Health can treat most non-life-threatening emergencies.
They can do the x-rays, they can do stitches,
urinary tract infections, blood test, urinalysis, ultrasound.
It's almost everything that they can do at the ER.
You never feel rushed. They're there for you and only you.
I felt like their only patient.
And it costs no more than a trip to urgent care because Dispatch Health is covered by most insurance, including Medicare. See if we serve your home at dispatchhealth.com.
Dispatch Health really went above and beyond.
It's wonderful to have care come to your home.
House calls are back, and they're better than ever. Learn more at dispatchhealth.com.
The Weedsman Podcast. ChristopherMedia.net.